Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Michael, and this is Julie, and this is Solas Inspirational Chats. And we have the wonderful Winifred Adams coming all the way from the other side of the pond with us tonight. We had the pleasure of Winifred's company recently, which was absolutely wonderful. And the reason for tonight, I suppose, is it's the eve of the feast or celebration of Mary Magdalene. So we thought it'd be really nice to touch base with somebody who's on the same page as we are.
Definitely, even if she's on the wrong side of the pond. But we were chatting to her earlier and we hope to lure her over here to Éire, as we call it. We don't call it Ireland, Angerland. We go back to the goddess Eru, the goddess of love, the goddess of sovereignty. And I'm sure Mary Magdalene would approve too that we're chatting to a wonderful, inspirational woman. We had the pleasure of chatting to her on the eve of our Solas 2-year celebration. And afterwards I said to Michael, we didn't get a chance to ask her about her. So tonight it's all about you. We're putting you on the spot and we want you to tell people how you make people's lives brighter, if that's okay.
Well, welcome to everyone over there, and hello, and thank you for having me as your guest this time. I'm used to being in the other side of the seat, and it's wonderful to get to be a part of this with you. I have a new appreciation for Ireland since speaking with you, and everything Ireland has come my way since speaking with you. And it's been a delight. So I'm eager to get over there at some point in time, and happy to have shown up today on your radar for this magnificent celebration and day. So how do I make people's lives brighter? Well, I guess that's subject to interpretation by the persons, but my volition is to help them connect back to spirit and their source and optimize their well-being and their health, so that they have that opportunity to optimize in their lifetime and bring themselves back into the alignment with all source energy. And I do that through medical intuition. I do that through quantum healing, and I do that remotely or in person. And I help people that have very serious illnesses like coma cases, cancers, broken bones, things that are odd things the doctors give up on. They don't have an answer anymore. And I help people that proactively want to rid themselves of trauma and move forward into more of a whole healed existence. So I have a large backpack full of tools that are holistically inclined, and I've had this gift since I was born, but I've honed it along the way over 20 some years, and it's been a delightful journey. So thank you for having me.
Great, great.
Not at all.
And we know you're very busy, which is wonderful to hear. And also it's wonderful for us to be able to grab some time with you, you know, especially on this auspicious date, I suppose. And tell me, Mary Magdalene, does she feature in your life, or how does she feature in your life?
Mary Magdalene came into my life as awareness. Now you have to understand that I grew up, my mother was Czechoslovakian. My grandparents came off the boat, so Slavish was spoken regularly. And my father was diehard Protestant, and my mother was Russian Orthodox. And I got to go to 2.5-hour Russian Orthodox services in Slavish. So I didn't really know anything. I didn't get Bible study. I didn't do any of those things. I had spirit right in front of me talking to me the whole time. And while I stood there in those long sessions, I basically began to hone my time with spirit every Sunday. That was a long time to be in church. And so as that happened, I had this divine connection that began to come forward. And I had a girlfriend that was very, very much a Catholic, and her parents would take her to Medjugorje. She would have these divine moments, and she would teach me all about the things that she experienced. So that was sort of my first entree into the saints and spirit world in that way. And it made sense to what I was seeing. So at that point, when I entered into healing work, all these beautiful divine beings show up and they come to help. And I can see them. And so different people bring different ones in. And Mary Magdalene has been a soft, beautiful, divine presence of calming that for people that's she usually comes during trauma, like when someone's had a trauma. And so I just get out of the way and I watch her grace come over people, and they feel that. They get chills, they feel the energy come through. I can feel it now. And she just comes over everyone like a beautiful big cape. And I've had many people that were part of the family of Jesus Christ and had now come back in this time frame, whether they were there at the time watching or they were related somehow. I've run into all these people this lifetime. It's been very, very divinely special. So I have, I consider a front row seat, but a periphery view, because I didn't grow up with any indoctrination because I didn't hear it in English.
Yeah, yeah.
But I got it direct.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Well, I suppose we grew up in Éire, which is very much a Catholic country, although things are changing. And Mary Magdalene would have been sort of swept out of the way, and the different views the people in the church, especially the Catholic Church, had about her. And I suppose in the last few years, our trips to France and to different places, we find that her energy is alive and well, and it's helping us move forward to the new age that we're moving into, towards the new earth. Because as you say, she has a soft, gentle, motherly, I suppose, she wraps her cape around you and keeps you safe and whatever. And we were over in France there a couple of weeks ago, and we were at the Gorge, the Gollum,
Yes.
and we went into a cave, which is like, I suppose it's converted into like a worship room or whatever. It's still a cave, but it's been used for that now. And there was a beautiful group of Canadian women chanting and singing when we went in. And this is a place that legend has it that Mary Magdalene actually preached 2,000 years ago. So the energy in it is incredible. But when we walked in, and these beautiful women chanting, I think there was 7 of them altogether.
Yes.
And they included us in their ritual, I suppose. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yes, it was. And we're in touch with them too, Winifred, because as you probably gathered, we love reaching out to people who share common aspirations and common belief systems. And the world has become such a small place. And I'm going to give you a laugh too. We put up videos regularly, and you're the only video that my parents have watched. And because they watched us now, and they were asking about you, and they can't believe that you're not even here in Éire, that you're over in America. So they actually now give us some credit for our healing cabin and what we do. Before then, they thought we were a bit mad, and my mother's latest claim to fame is that I take after her. So thanks to you, you've worked a miracle. So I'm really, really grateful. So I'm very grateful to Mary Magdalene, but I'm also very grateful to you, because we don't often get miracles over here.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
So, that's funny. And you have the most wishing wells. You should have all kinds of miracles. You're the ancient site of all things. And we'll come back around to this point. That's what's so exciting. I think that's so funny. And tell your mother I say hello, because
I will. I'm going to share this video. I came down. We had a lovely celebration. We were telling you earlier today up in Dublin, and I called in to my parents, so they'll be well impressed that once again we're on the TV with America. This is better than Trump.
Oh yeah. Well, it's been a little heated over here. So in fact, most of us are ready to kind of take a breather from America, but
yes, we'll send the love. We're sending the love across, don't worry. And I'm sure Mary Magdalene will assist, especially tomorrow.
Oh, I think so. The emerald light is coming. It's coming. I feel a wave of it so strongly in the healings. It's coming, and it emanates from over there.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we believe Éire is the heart chakra of the world, and the color of our land is green, 40 shades of green, which is absolutely wonderful. And it was lovely weather earlier on. I'm looking out across the fields from our house, and I can see umpteen shades of green, but unfortunately it's liquid sunshine or rain, whichever way you want to put it. But it's interesting what you said about the family of Jesus Christ and his followers, I suppose. A lot of people, we've come across people now in the recent past who we feel would be reincarnated versions of those people, and it's great to see it coming back. And I know a lot of Catholics and Christians would talk about the second coming and they believe it is the physical, whereas I would be of the belief it is Christ consciousness that's coming back. And these people who've come in at this stage, they're helping to anchor the Christ consciousness on the planet, which is all part of our moving towards our new earth, you know, which is wonderful.
I know I can say I remember you from long ago, and I really feel that way. And wherever that long ago was, it feels very familiar. The first time we spoke, I thought, oh, this feels so right. I need to speak with you. And perhaps your mother feels that too. Maybe that's part of that. I mean, in all teasing aside, you know how families are, but in this case, the soul families are coming back together. And like you said, the world's getting smaller. We're in a space of it's just, you know, a Zoom away or a FaceTime away or something. And here we are and are connecting in our knowledge, our hearts, and then we're never broken because the energy is going from my heart to yours, and we're kind of bridging this world where back then, you know, it was so arduous, and here we have this opportunity to stop and correct in the way that will help forevermore. And we're at that juncture of consciousness. So I'm very much looking forward to continuing a journey with souls like you two that are moving Julie and Michael into this true heartfelt union of what spirit is embodied on earth, and walking into that with healing hands, because so many people will need that assistance in the transition.
Yeah,
So
Definitely.
they're wrapping up karmas pretty quickly, so we're going to be needed. We're frontline warriors.
Yes.
well, that's it. And we believe we are here to be of service, and that's one of the things. And you know, we speak to our friends in different groups because that we're involved with, you know, humanitarian or spiritual groups, and we sort of say, look, we are here to be of service. And at the same time, when somebody comes to us, we deal with them with compassion, love, understanding, with no judgment. Because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all on our own individual journeys, but they come into our lives for a reason, and it's best to look after them the best way that we can and share the love that we have for ourselves as well as for everybody else. You know, I think it's important to do that.
Definitely. And speaking of sharing, Winifred, you've written a few books. I said to Michael, I'll just ask you to talk about them. We're going to put the details in the description and also your website. And I know we're friends on Facebook and on Twitter. So we put all those details too, because tonight is like a sample conversation, and then people often will go on to those tabs and investigate further. So would you like to tell us a little bit about your books?
Well, thank you. I've been part of several collaborative books, and I'm working on my own books completely right now. So those will be out sometime in the next year. But as people that have followed along, they know that I have a podcast and I've written books and I do music and part of the Grammys and all that. And music was where I really began. That was my near and dear, but healing is my sort of inborn gift and something that I could never get away from ever. And I stopped trying to get away from it. I just embraced it wholly and solely. And through that journey of all those things came an extraordinary adventure of realizing the medical, intuitive, and healing gift through the study of spirituality and studying under masters and really honing the blueprint that I was born with in this lifetime so that I could be of service at the same time I advanced spiritually. So that's what these books are about. The Silver Lining of Cancer speaks about my journey with cancer. I had cervical cancer at one point, which was kind of shocking because I was sort of the epitome of health and all this, and it was out of left field, but we'll call it a karmic payoff. And I was showcasing that though it came back after the first surgery, I said, I'm not going to have this. And I dug in and did the very things that I do for other people. And basically it went away, and they couldn't figure out how it went away in 3 weeks, and it disappeared forever. So that was kind of my foundation to say, yeah, I've walked that road too, but I refuse to go down this part of it. So I think by grace and by hard work, that example comes through in a chapter in that book, but also looking at all the journey that's taken place. So for example, you know, it's not always an easy road on a spiritual path. There's lots of bumps, and those that really are willing to take the courage to walk that path go through the fire. And so some of these books speak of inspiration, some of them speak of hardship and overcoming, some speak of spirituality. So I've been a part of The Silver Lining of Cancer, which is an international bestseller, the Itty Bitty Book of Holistic Experts, and that's also reached bestseller. I think they all have actually, but the Power of Your Inner Brilliance, that was a beautiful book, and Manifested Blessings. So these are all available on Amazon, and you can get them through me if you want to, but it's really about knowing your spirit. And that's been my lifelong endeavor since I was a child, and I knew that. I knew that as a kid. I didn't know how the journey would go, but I just knew that that was it. I have to finish this lifetime. I have to get it right, and I will be helpful while I do. So that was the crux of the through line for all of those different stories that come out that are true stories about my life.
Very
Oh,
good.
that's
That's
amazing.
lovely.
Wonderful. Yes. No, I did say to Michael, I was researching you and I said, I need to write out a book here because she has got so many interesting strings to her bow. Let's just ask her instead. So I definitely will put all those details in the description so people can reach out to you and purchase those books. And also, I just want to thank you again. We're going to wrap it up for now, but we're going to thank you now this evening. But I know we'll be in touch and I know we'll continue talking, but we really appreciate the fact that initially we connected and it was to do with our healing cabin. And that's why there, as you say, there is a soul connection. There is a tribal soul tribe connection here. And we're very appreciative and grateful to have you in our lives. So thank you so much for your time this evening with us.
Thank you so much. I love your matching hearts. You have the necklace, he has the shirt, and the two of you are perfect. You're like the heart. I'm telling you, you are the example of loving couple, and it struck me the first time. It strikes me again now. And thank you for having me. Thank you for
very
letting
much.
me be a voice with you.
Thank you. And just, I don't know if you can read it, is the light has won, love has won, we are one.
Beautiful.
That was given to me back in March. So we have the same phrase on different design t-shirts, and my thing about it is, like we were in Glastonbury a few weeks ago, is just to walk through people and people read it as they walk past. And it's to get it into the consciousness, and that's basically what we're doing with the t-shirts.
Yes,
yeah.
we're selling them too on our website. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we think love is the answer. So yes, love could be our new profitable business. We will keep you posted.
Yeah.
And thanks again for this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.